everybody. I'm Julie Winters. I'm with FONDCA, Friends of Media Cafe Arts, which is sponsoring this show. We welcome the Bowie-Crofton Camera Club. Thank you everybody for coming out. And we like to give the artists an opportunity to speak about their art, if they want to talk about their particular pieces in the show, or if they would just like to talk about how they approach their photography in general. I'm just going to leave the mic open. Anybody who would like to come up, please come up, introduce yourself at the very least, and maybe talk, at least mention the pieces that you have in the show, and then just talk about what you'd like to talk about for art. We'd really love to hear your insights about your own work. Thank you.
You go first.
She's the president. She's the president.
I'm only a half the president.
So hi, my name is Steve Cabin, and I am a co-president of the Bowie-Crofton Camera Club. And just a couple words about the club. We have about 60 or 70 active members these days. It's been bigger in the past. It was a little smaller during the pandemic. 12 of our members are exhibiting here now, are on the walls here, there, and in the other room. I have a piece in the other room. But we have all kinds of members from all over. Very active club. Members as north as Baltimore, as south as St. Mary's, from the Eastern Shore, from all over. And all styles of photography are represented in the club. Nature, landscapes, you'll see a number of those, abstracts, photojournalism. We've had as members, not right now, but we have had from the White House Press Corps, from National Geographic, some good photographers and some beginning photographers, and we love them. We offer mentoring classes once a month via Zoom for all levels of photography are welcome, and we have a great time. We meet in Bowie at All Saints Lutheran Church every Monday. We have a meeting a week. Tomorrow's is our monthly competition, which the theme is nature. If you'd like to know more, you can find me later, and I'm happy to answer your questions, as are any of the other members. I'll give you a couple words about my piece. In the other room, on that wall, there are two photos, one above and one below. Mine's the one below, called Distant Dream. And it's part of a project that I've been working on called The Middle Distance. When things happen in your life that are not so good and can traumatize you perhaps, you sometimes go into this nebulous land where you don't quite see things around you. You can't perceive the past or the future. You just kind of stare into the middle distance for a while, and your friends can help you recover. So that's Distant Dream is part of that project. And now I will turn it over to whoever else wants to talk. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Glenn Thompson, and I've been doing digital photography since 2007. My main subject is the Chesapeake Bay. Okay, that's my love. I enjoy it. I have a show that, how I took pictures of the Chesapeake Bay. But here, my second passion of taking pictures is of music. And that is what my art is here today. The two pictures are black and white. One is Mary Schaefer, the other one is Linwood Taylor. Both these artists have played here. The one of Mary Schaefer is actually taken here. The one of Linwood Taylor was taken at the Old Town Bowie Grill, and unfortunately that's not around anymore. So I took a lot of pictures for the DC Blues Society, so between the Chesapeake Bay, what I do with my kayak, and then going out with the concert pictures. So those are my two passions of taking pictures. That's it.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to see everybody here. The exhibit's been up for a few weeks, and I hope people are enjoying it. My name is Roz Clefman. I am the other half of the club presidency. This is my third time around as club president. I've already done 23 years now, so it's a long time. My art is put at the bathrooms. I think they had something to say about my art not being really good, but I liked it. One of them is a photo of a little plant just getting ready to pop. And the other one is an image that I took at a national conference up at the New England Council of Camera Clubs. And it is a brandy snifter, and the liquid is coming out of it. And everybody says, how the heck did you do that? So I'm going to tell you the secret. It was taken on a tilt table in the dark. You set everything up, and your glass is here with the alcohol or whatever's in it. And in the dark, as soon as it hits this point, the flashes go off. And there you got whatever's spilling. And it is messy, but once in a while you get a good shot. I wanted to say, Steve already said we meet Monday nights, and you can find us at b-ccc.org on the web, or meet at All Saints Lutheran Church in Bowie. Happy to answer any questions. And I'm going to talk about one picture that's not mine, that was taken in the Southwest by Vince Ferrari. And Vince was there on a photo class for like a week in Monument Valley in the Southwest. And he paid that Indian guide to sit there on the pony, and at dawn, which for $35, was a pretty good investment. And so that's one of Vince's photos from that time he was there. All right, who's talking next? And thank you to New Deal for this opportunity.
Yes.
Hi, my name is J.V. Walters. I am a novice at the club, so I'm still learning. I continue to learn. I was strongly encouraged to share my art, share my pictures. So today I have two pictures on display. I have Ripple and I have Red Barn, which is in the, I guess the foyer? No. The front room, yes. So the Red Barn was taken at Rosary Park, State Park, on a field trip. Most of my pictures are on field trips because I've made a conscious effort this year to actually be active, to go out, to be involved, and I think so far I've been successful. The other picture, Ripple, I was at church and I was walking into the sanctuary and I looked down and I see a puddle of water and oil running from a car, and it just had the most amazing look, which kind of is, I think this is where my interest will go, into like mundane things that are not regularly looked at, and I just find them so interesting to see things that we don't normally see, that are just right there. So that one, that's what that is. But I really enjoy the club. I enjoy everybody pouring into me and helping me to like fine-tune my art, and just really loving what I do, and just having it as just something that I'm accepting is like probably a gift. So thank you.
You're used to the stage, you could sing.
Yeah. Well, I do want to thank the New Deal Cafe for hosting us. I've performed on this stage on many occasions, and standing up here and looking at the art in this room has always been really inspiring. So I'm very excited to be able to be here in this room with my own art. So as JV was saying, finding the beauty in the mundane, I think is a worthy goal, and I do that as well. I have two photos here. One is the dogwood over there in the middle, and the other one's in the other room, and it's called Pink Sky at OBX. And it's a stormy evening at the Outer Banks. It's kind of abstract. So I like nature and abstract, and I have some photos over here that are unframed. So if you're interested in something other than that, I also have cards. So I'm, again, just really happy to be here and with all my friends at the New Deal Cafe. Thank you.
Well, hello everybody. I'm
Hi,
Bruce Edwards. Hi, Roz. I joined the club, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years ago. And at my wife's insistence, she said, why don't I retired? And my wife said, well, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know. She said, why don't you join the photography club? I said, you know, that sounds like a good idea. So I did that, and I was really blown away by the expertise that everyone in the club has. And I've learned so much in those 3-4 years. I came in as a photographer, you might know the term HDR. I loved HDR photography, and I thought that was it. And I come into the club, everybody looks at it and says, yeah, HDR, no, that's all right. You know, no, seriously, I've learned a lot. It's been a lot of fun. And I've been honing my photographic eye. And so what I like is showing tranquility, okay? And so I have two pictures. You go through the hallway and the first wall on the left, you'll see them. One of them is Chesapeake Bay. The crab boats come back in at night, and they're just sitting there in the water. You have to see the picture to understand. But I think it's really cool. And then the other one is Chesapeake Bay at dawn. And I took that one from Sandy Point, and that's all the leading lines, everything just works, so the symmetry is really good. So that's what I do.
Bruce, you want to tell us what HDR is? Because inquiring minds want to know.
Okay, inquiring minds want to know. It's a technique where you take 3 or more images, okay? So let's say I'm shooting this microphone. I would take 3 or 4 images. I would do what we call bracketing. So one is going to be overexposed. One's going to be the correct exposure as far as the camera goes. And the other one will be a step under. And then we bring it into the computer, and what the computer does is kind of merge them all together. But what it helps you do is the darker part of the picture is taking that from the brightest, the overexposure, and it's bringing in the darkness so you see some detail. And it's a neat technique. You almost always have to have a tripod to do it, but it's fun, and it's interesting, but there's so much more to photograph, so many more techniques to use. And I've been learning all that from these folks here, and it's been a wonderful experience for me.
Okay, I'm Stan Turk, and I didn't have a picture in the show because I had pictures at other shows and I ran out of frames, so I didn't put anything in here.
Michael's.
Good excuse.
There's Michael's. You could have bought a frame.
I did buy 12 frames, and there were other shows before I heard about this one, and then I had to print more stuff. So, anyways, my thing is, for my photography, I do a little bit of everything. I'm a photographer for the what they call the Mid-Atlantic Air Museum's World War II weekend. I've been doing that now for 10 years as one of the official photographers for that thing. So I get published in a lot of aviation magazines for the work that I did. And the reenactors from World War II the pictures that I take and other people that I take look like they're actually taken between 1940 and 1945. And they're really good pictures. And then I'm also a volunteer photographer for the Cultural Affairs Office for the Smithsonian Institute. So whenever they bring in special artists and stuff, I get to photograph them. So how often could somebody say, oh, there's a speaker talking about ecology, and it happens to be Yo-Yo Ma. So I get to be with Yo-Yo Ma talking about ecology while he's playing his cello, and get to photograph that. So that's nice. And then I said, so somebody said, why don't you're always taking pictures for somebody else. Why don't you take pictures for yourself and enjoyment? So for my enjoyment is, the way things are going right now is to be totally abstract. So abstraction is a lot of fun because when you take a picture with your camera and people look at what's behind the screen, you see what's there. But when you take abstract pictures, what I do is, if you take pictures at night and like a 30-second exposure, you don't know what's going to happen until you take it to your camera at home. So to me, my photography is bringing it back like 70 years ago, where you didn't see your picture until you developed it. And now, so what I'm doing now is, if I see weird LED lights like that, I do what they call intentional camera movement. So this is a sample, I just happen to have it in my bag, some sample of some. So this is LED lights with sample movement. So and another sample of, this is the same light that every 3 seconds it changes color. So it was an artist, musician. Instead of taking pictures of the musician, which is hard to do, I was just taking pictures of the lights on the stage. And this is what I was doing. That's another sample. There's the third sample, I have some more there. So here's another sample of the same LED display with some camera movement. And actually, I was at a Norwegian party yesterday, and where these pictures were actually taken, I donated them for the thing, so they blew it up. And they actually have, in the living room, these pictures hanging in the thing with the lights and the instruments of the musicians underneath it from Norway. So that made me feel good last night. So that's why I had these pictures with me. Okay, thank you.
Good job, Sam, good job.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bill Collins, and
Adjust the mic so we can hear you. There you go. Speak up. It's all.
I think probably I've been in the camera club the longest of anyone here. Was maybe
Yeah, I
close.
think we came at the same time. I looked it up.
It was in the 1970s, a long time ago. And the club is, I just really want to make a big plug for the club. It has been really very fine for a very long time. And there are a lot of good photographers. There have been some great photographers, and there still are great photographers in the club. Personally, the photography I do is varied. I like landscapes, I like nature photography, and travel photography. I think are the three areas that I take the most. My pictures, I like to kind of evoke a feeling in the people who see them, and I do that by the way that I process the pictures. I have two here. One was taken at the Cades Cove, the mill in Cades Cove in the Smokies, and it's in the far room. And the other picture was taken at a workshop over in Delaware on the beach. It was off season, and you know these beaches have these monster chairs you can sit in and have your picture taken. I turned around and noticed that the chair had the sun just peeking right through the slats in the chair, making a sun star. And I said, oh, that's a great picture. So that's what that picture is. And it's great to see everyone here. And I hope to be around for a few more years in the club.
We hope so too. We're counting on it.
That's right. You know, the best camera you have is the one you have with you.
That's
Take a
right.
picture of everybody else. Everybody else. I'm over here. Yeah. I'm Carmela Doty. I have
In the
one.
microphone.
Okay, I have one photograph in the front. If you look at it, it's a landscape and it's bluish. But what you need to know is I had a friend of mine who was working in the Navajo reservation. She worked for 5 years out in the Monument Valley area. So I used to go out and visit her, and that was the view from her backyard. Wow. So when I looked outside and I saw the mountains in the back, and beautiful landscape, I did a million pictures, and one of them is in the front room. It says Utah, because she was in Utah. And that photograph that Vince did, too bad Vince is here, reminds me, because she took me to Monument Valley a number of times. And one day we were out there, and you know, you're out there, and there's no restrooms anywhere. So I was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? It's like another hour to go back to her place. So she said, well, look, let's stop here, and there's some bushes down here, and you can go down here in the bushes. So I ran down to the bushes, and there I am with my pants down, and I look up, and there is a guy up there on his horse, looking down at me, just like that. And that's what that photograph reminds me of turning around and going, oh my God. And then it waved to me. So that's what that reminded me of. Okay, but one thing I do like about the photo club is that they have sometimes these crazy monthly competitions that forces me to think outside the box. And by making me think outside the box, I've created some things I wouldn't have created if it didn't make me think outside the box. So what I want to do is I'm going to make Mark Laster come up here, because Mark's the person who actually arranged this whole thing.
That's right.
Well, hi. I didn't go looking to arrange an exhibit, but it sort of fell into my lap, and then I was glad to carry forward and help it take place. As for my own photography, I don't have a particular topic. It's whatever I see that turns me on at the time, and I enjoy thinking about it and sometimes experimenting with pictures I have. And I will say this is an extremely friendly group. I mean, when we have a meeting together or somehow like this, if we have a meal together some other time, the vibes are always really good. So that's one of the things that I really like about this club. So that's all.
Well, in that case, I want to thank everybody who came to the mic and talked about their work. And thank you for having the show here. And it's really clear that you guys are passionate about your art and also really enjoy each other. And it's been such a pleasure to listen to your perspectives and just hear how much you guys like each other. It's really, really cool. So thank you for, sharing all of that and coming here.
Thank you.
For sure. There are still fruits and vegetables and things like that. So please hang around, continue to commune and, eat. Okay.